it's Mr. Punctuality. How the hell are you this morning?
So I got the CP up.
Good. That's important, because that's what we're shooting on.
No one knows I took it, but I got it.
All right, come on, into the house. Come on, come on. I can see you. We're not going to bump into I'm walking backwards now. Okay, we don't want to put the cameras before we leave. Hey, nice camera, man.
An opening title explains that in October 1994, 3 student filmmakers hiked into the Black Hills forest in Maryland to make a 16mm documentary about a legendary witch, and that they never returned. A year later, the material they shot was discovered, and it's been pieced together, and that's what we're about to see. With assertive Heather Donahue, calling the shots, the 2 young men, cameraman Joshua Leonard, and soundman Michael Williams, tag along. At first, all goes well as they shoot colour video material and black and white film of interviews with locals. And then they plunge into the dense woods, where they quickly get lost and realise that someone or something is menacing them in the dark.
I am so sorry for everything that has happened. Because in spite of what Mike says now, it is my fault. Because it was my project. And I insisted on everything.
Well, the Blair Witch Project purports to be assembled from authentic film and video footage shot by the missing students, but of course it isn't. What we're seeing is pure fiction, though the actors who play the students actually did film the material themselves, which gives a rare authenticity to the creepy material. What's amazing is that this terribly low-budget, almost amateurish film, which was written, edited and directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, has been so phenomenally successful, raking in hundreds of millions of dollars. For once, the nausea-inducing handheld camera work is justified, though it's still hard to watch at times. But the film's greatest asset is its impressive soundtrack, which really adds to the mounting unease and terror. It's an incredibly simple film, yet on its own modest level, a very successful one. Margaret.
David, just looking at those clips again makes me all creepy. I found this the scariest experience ever, I think, in a film.
Why?
I don't know, because they've got this concept that they go for. They don't compromise on it, which I think is really terrific.
Yeah.
I think the performances of the 3 actors are so realistic and convincing, without which the film wouldn't work at all. I just found it really invigorating, fresh, and really terrifying.
So we're sort of seduced into thinking that it really is happening.
David, I'm seduced into thinking everything really happens on the screen. I mean, that believability factor is so important to me about whether a film works or not. And this worked splendidly.
This is a sort of cinema verite horror film, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
I love being scared witless in this film.
And
I loved it.
I was too, I must say. I mean, not so much scared, but I found it very, very creepy.
Yeah, well, I think it's an amazing achievement of the 2 filmmakers. Really amazing. I'm giving it 4.5 stars.
I'm giving it 3.5.
I insisted that we weren't lost. I insisted that we keep going. I insisted that we walk south. Everything had to be my way. And this is where we've ended up. And it's all because of me that we're here now. Hungry and cold and hunted. I love you, Mom. And Dad. I'm so sorry.
The Blair Witch Project opens nationally tonight, possibly at a cinema near you. Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez are the co-directors of what's now the most profitable film ever made. We spoke to this entertaining duo about their fright film phenomenon, which was inspired by the In Search of television documentaries of the 70s.
You know, that's what really inspired us with Blair Witch, you know, and I had a UFO club when I was a kid, and, you know, there was just this kind of this general neuroses I think people had, and also a fascination with wanting to believe in that stuff. And, you know, so that was what we grew up on. That's what scared us as kids, you know. And Blair Witch was a definite, you know, rip-off of those In Search of shows.
Yeah, at least
know?
the feeling. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we remember when we were kids, you know, after you watched that show, you would be sitting there in front of the TV, you'd be like, holy moly, Bigfoot
Yeah, you see that
is
shaky
real.
Bigfoot running, you're like, oh.
And the Loch Ness Monster is real, and the UFOs are real. So, you know, you're sitting at home, and you're like, once again, the whole window thing.
Yeah.
You're sitting there in your room, and all of a
I
sudden,
had
it's
no
like,
windows in my
you
house.
look over at the window, and you think, God, imagine if the shadow of Bigfoot or some little alien came by, and it was just like, and then you can't look at the window anymore. You start freaking yourself out, because now that you're not looking at it, you're sure that the shadow's there now.
Right.
It's all around us. That is fucking weird. Michael, are you saying you're not coming down?
I ain't going down there.
Why not?
Because I'm not. I don't hear shit.
Because you're fucking scared.
Because I don't hear anything
Because
anymore.
you're fucking scared. You could not deny hearing it. Get your ass out. What's the big deal?
Well, when we came up with the idea, it was, you know, it was around the latter part of '92, early '93, and you know,
There's a lot of good horror films coming out, like Freddy's Dead had just come out. You know, a lot of good horror
there's
films.
a lot of stuff competing with but no, I mean
There was nothing.
Yeah, I mean there really wasn't anything that was scaring us. I mean, it's like, okay, there were horror movies, quote unquote, and they were kind of fun to kind of go check out and stuff like that. And
It was scaring us that they were being made.
yeah, but nothing that really freaked us out, like The Exorcist or The Shining, or, you know, things that had that kind of residual effect on you when you left the theater. And so we definitely felt there was a gap. There was something that needed, you know, that we had an opportunity to make a scary movie that really scared you, you know, that's had the pretense of scaring you and actually scared you, you know. And, you know, guys our age hadn't had anything for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been so long since something really came out and just really freaked you out at the core, you know. And so that's what we were going after with Blair Witch, is, you know, getting down back to basics, down to what really kind of freaks us out as kids, and just hoped everyone else would kind of tap into that too.
What bugs me out is that we're so damn deep in the woods, and people are gonna try and come out here and mess with us, then they gotta have something wrong with them, and I'm not gonna play with that.
But how do we know it was people?
Well, even if it wasn't, I'm not gonna play with that either.
We didn't really have that much time to look at the footage. You know, it was a 24-hour-a-day shoot, so we probably didn't even see half the footage that was shot while we were shooting the film. So we had these dailies, but we didn't
none
even
of the film, really.
We couldn't
The
even
film
see it. Yeah, the film came in like 3 or 4 days after we shot, and it was just, you know, we were just so busy trying to keep this train from derailing that there was no way to say, hey, let's take it this way or take it the other way. We trusted the actors enough, and what we saw in the footage worked.
Let me tell you what you said to us. It's like 2 miles away. Then it's like
Okay,
2
just
hours
chill,
away,
just
3
chill.
hours away. Maybe it's 4 hours away. How could you?
Did you
I
agree to
agree,
do this
man.
project?
I did. I agreed to a scouted out project. I didn't
It
agree
is
to just
scouted out, and I
trance around
told
the
you that
woods.
getting to the
Mike,
locations
okay,
wasn't going to be
guys.
easy.
Got $1,500
Guys,
worth
it's
of
cool.
equipment
It's
on
cool.
me.
It's cool. Please, you're being a smartass. You're being a smartass. Let's just. We're looking at the map. We're
Okay.
gonna find this the best we can. I can totally find this. This is where we were. We're going more or less this way.
We saw about 2,000 actors in New York. I mean, we auditioned for several times over the course of a year. And the whole audition process was a circus, you know. I mean, Ed took one room, I took another room, and we just had our friends just funneling in
Yeah.
actors off the street. You know, we gave them 3 minutes each.
Yeah, and it just kind of culled through all these actors and ended up with the 3 leads.
But Josh, we knew pretty much in advance, because he had been calling Ed a lot, you know, about wanting to be. He heard about the premise and was really, really driven to be in the movie.
Yeah.
And so when he came in for one of the auditions, he's like, you know, he's got a great look. At the time, he said he knew how to run camera.
Yeah, he's told us that.
He told us he knew how to run camera, which he didn't.
Yeah, it was just. I mean,
But that was one of the
you
little
can watch- you can see
Joshisms.
Joshisms. You can see the movie and realize he had no idea what the hell he was doing.
Right.
No, but he just came in and just blew us away. I mean, this guy had been calling me like every month, and just talking, and, you know, hey, I really like the idea, and just talking about the person. And I got to like I liked you know, I liked him, you know, I liked the guy.
So you went out and dated a couple times.
Yeah, it didn't work out. And I thought I was going to have a lot of problems casting him, because there was still some kind of connection there. We still had feelings for each other, I think.
Yeah, I know.
I bought the compass. If you wanted a compass, you should have
I don't give a shit if you bought the compass. You f***ed us up. He f***ed us up. I don't know why
Let's
you
just keep
can't admit
walking
that you've
south.
been screwed from the moment we got
I
out here,
haven't.
man.
Because I haven't. Why are we stopped?
My imagination still kills me. I mean, I literally have to just start reading a book or watch TV until I go to sleep, or else I can't go to sleep. I'm really stupid that way.
Yeah, that's a shame, man. You get over it. It's all right.
No, I'll never get over it.
Okay.
I've got to get out of here.